Howdy Tamers, and we have a new restriction list and ban list update for the Digimon TCG. I'm not alone as I normally am. I've actually roped in some buddies to talk about the ban list and what it means for these deck lists and decks that we play. So this is effective from the 1st of September. So my friends, we have the wonderful Gilmon Bread. Yeah. We have Tam.
Hello.
And we have Flex.
Howdy.
Now these are some wonderful people that I have the pleasure of knowing, that I play countless locals with, that have bullied me with their decks, of course. Flex is particularly one to make me brick for particularly just level 4s, depending on how close he is to me. So we're kind of working that out. We have Gilmon Bread, who of course won Nats at the start of the year, and we have Tam, who just bricks me for everything, but it's okay because I love the three of these people so very much. So thank y'all for joining me. How's everyone feeling about this ban list?
Lizard.
Lizard. But not the lizard that people said would get hit, didn't get hit. Gilmon Bread, how do you feel about that? The Growlmon X not being hit?
I'm happy. It just stops looping, and everyone thought it was Growl X, but, Gil having Rush, and if you get it done right, it just keeps going. That's probably the worst part out of all of them. And Grab Crush extending like crazy.
Yeah. So now that we're done talking about the lizard in the room, let's talk about what actually did get hit. So first of all, we have the card that got actually outright banned, finally, because I'm assuming that Bandai was just sick of pair banning this card with every single card in existence. So the Saya & Co., which is the Blue Galaxy Tamer, has just been outright banned, so that means you can't have any instances of this card in this deck. Most recently, Tam showed us a very aggressive new version of this loop at one of our locals. Would you like to tell us about this this deck, Tam?
Yeah, absolutely. So more or less, it's essentially using the new Leopardmon Ace. What that does is it lets you, on play or when digivolving, play out a 5k DP or less Digimon, and whenever another Digimon would leave the battle area, you gain 2 memory back. So essentially, in abusing that, you would play out the Structure Deck Ludomon, which would tuck itself under a red Digimon, triggering that memory gain. With this Blue Tamer, what that does is at the start of your opponent's turn, you can play a same level Digimon out from under one of your Light Fang Nightclaw Digimon. And so you would essentially, by doing that, play out the Ludomon, trigger on play, tuck it back in, and the Leopardmon would see that, you'd gain memory and rip turn back.
I think after having to deal with that first-hand basis, it was pretty impressive.
I could see Flex's life drain from his very youthful face.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm glad that's not me.
I think compared to the other pair restrictions that happened with that card, that one could only really pull over memory from... it could only really gain 2 memory per turn. There were some instances where Tam would gain maybe 6. I think you gained 6 memory at once because you had 3 Leopardmons on the field, and it was just ridiculous.
Well, yeah. So the most oppressive part about it is you gained 2 per Leopardmon, but it was an all turns once per turn. So I would rip turn back, put myself at 1. Start of my main phase, I'd have a Lunamon bounce back to hand. They'd all see that. I would essentially go up to max memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fun.
Yeah.
I think the answer to that is Medieval, and not every deck can use it.
Yeah. Especially because, another card, other than Growlix, that a lot of people were saying would be hit, and people said this at the last ban list, was Medieval. And my argument for why Medieval shouldn't be hit is because a lot of decks do run it as just a 1 or a 2 of, so that wouldn't really change anything for those decks. However, as a Zafaga main, which of course I am, I would actually be hurt by that because the Zafaga decks do tend to run it as a 3 of. So, yeah, I'm just kind of like, whew, I'm very relieved that that Medieval was not hit. Not that I really expected it to be, but because so many people were saying, oh, it should be hit, I was kind of like, oof, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fine card. Medieval's completely fine. I don't know why people hate it so much.
Yeah, you can absolutely work around it. As someone, again, who runs Zafaga, who plays 3 of, if it was as broken as it was, I would be winning a lot more. So I'm glad that it didn't, like, I feel like overall this ban list is fairly reasonable for the most part. Except for Omnimon, absolutely. Which wasn't hit.
Yeah,
that was the one thing we were expecting. Yeah, maybe Miraculous to be.
Yeah, Miraculous I thought was like a 100% like positive to be hit. A lot of my predictions did actually get hit, which I will touch on shortly. But my biggest surprise was the fact that Miraculous didn't get hit. Altaress kind of makes sense because it is a newer card, but I still thought that could be restricted as well. But the fact they didn't hit Miraculous is kind of like, oof. Omnimon is about to go crazy.
It's definitely going to surge, yeah. It's going to be popping up a lot more often now.
Honestly, the list entirely feels like this was all planned out maybe a little bit ago before Omni Gas started to be an issue. Like, I feel like Omni is going to go crazy.
So they didn't think about it. They just hit the card that kept gaining the memory because no more free memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a loop as well at the end of the day, so Bando just doesn't like loops.
Yeah, so
I feel like you raise a good point where it does feel like they put a lot of thought into most of the ban list prior to BT22.
Yes.
And they kind of just slapped the EX1 Malga on the end because it was a problem deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just get, Rush Gill loops, they didn't hit a card that, wasn't a problem. They hit all the problem pieces that could initiate.
Yeah, and that makes sense why they banned Scion Co outright, because, again, it's just going to keep on coming back with more cards that can be turned into a Galaxy loop. So instead of just every ban list pair banning it, they just outright banned it, which makes sense.
Yeah, and I think they avoided that earlier on just because the Galaxy only had the 2 tamers. You had Sire and Co and Consire. But now they've got the red tamer, and you've also got the new Sire that they can play with. So
the new one as well. So that makes no sense. So it makes sense. I don't know why it makes it. It makes the sense. It's again. We've been talking in voice chat for the past few hours, 7 hours was it that we were watching the Grand Asia Open? So kind of like, apologies viewers if we all seem like we've been talked out. It's because we're basically been yapping for the past few hours, so apologies for that. So next, let's talk about the banned pair. We do actually have a Sakuya player in chat. So it is Valderam being pair restricted with Taumon and Sakuya X. Tam, I don't know anything about Sakuyamon. You can just take the floor on this one.
So, primarily, this is a deck that has had 2 wolves in it, where one is the aggro player who wants to OTK and just swing out and, try and win the game as fast as possible. The other one is the control player who sits back and wants to just win the game out by not letting the opponent play how they want to. They have removed one of these wolves by taking away the Valderam with this pair ban, because realistically there's no way to play the deck with Valderam without those cards. There's no cards that replace them that fundamentally have enough efficiency or work well enough within the deck to do that. So it's as good as banning Valderam for Sakuyamon specifically. In saying that, we do still have the control aspect. So a good example is the Grand Asia Open, where the Sakuyamon player essentially kept abusing the Ruin modes to always have the opponent at minus 10k on their turn. With that, we're going to be able to see a lot more of that, where it's going to be about controlling the opponent's board and actions and chipping away at their security over a couple of turns.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah. Like, we're going to see a lot more of it being promoted. The ruin mode, stack will then die, hatch an egg, and then get ready to go again next turn in raising, while the opponent is under a 10k blanket. So
yeah, I'm not looking forward to having to see Sakuya ruin mode be everywhere, to be honest.
yeah. I think as an Angel player, I quite enjoyed the Valderam, and the ruin mode now is just going to be a little bit more painful to my level 5s and below.
I love Valderam. I play it in my Zafarga deck. It is very efficient if you're playing in any deck that has 2 level 6s in source, because you can effectively evolve to it for the cost of a scramble, because you get that 2 memory back. It shuts down your opponent's players, and it's just a very good card. So I'm glad that it got hit for Sakuya decks, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to dealing with the ruin mode onslaught that I'm about to face.
I personally welcome our ruin mode overlords.
You would.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'll have to make the meme that Tam and I thought of earlier, and by we thought of, Tam said it, and I immediately put it into existence. It's the thumbs up cat with my dad left for cigarettes, so now I play ruin mode. So I'll have to put that, shoehorn that into the thumbnail somehow, because man, I don't like ruin mode. It's in puppets. It's in Sakuya. I'm having a straight up bad time because it just kind of board wipes me, and I know likey.
Don't forget, it can be played in Megidra too.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on Megidra. Down boy. Do we have any other things to say about the band pair?
Not really, other than it's like I said, it is a targeted ban, essentially, because the deck just won't function without them. I think it's fantastic for the health of the game. There was far too much focus on the Valderam in the deck and try to make that the main play. And I think it opens up the deck a lot more to other potential level 7 toolboxes. Which I'd be happy to talk about at a later point in the video.
Ooh. But yeah, so with the band pair done and dusted, let's move on to the restricted cards. So, Sean, I'm sorry for your loss. Grav Crush is now restricted to 1. The 0 cost option of gain 2 memory. You lose 2 memory next turn, but that's okay because you just slam down 4 rush gills and you go for game. That was the effective game plan of that. So how are you feeling now that Grav Crush is understandably hit to 1?
That's crazy because I only run 1 in Gallant. I don't even run a rush gill on it. And then Megidra, you can just swap it for BT5 Gilmon and swap the Grav Crush to the delay option for the deck.
That is fine.
Everything's fine.
So Gallant's not affected by this in the Great Gilmon Breads deck, but how do you feel about Megidra with the Grav Crush hit?
It's fine. It can be the same speed as Gallant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, the deck doesn't really suffer that much. It's just, it's not oppressive at this point or being abused in birds like Garuda X. Thank God that's gone, because that is a problem.
Yeah, I'm very relieved about Garuda X being hit. Does, I guess just skipping ahead a bit, does Garuda X being limited to 1, is that the nail in the coffin for the Megi birds?
Yeah, probably. What do you think, Fleck?
Yeah, there's a lot of decks running around, a lot of red-purple decks that would run around using the whole Gilmon line. So seeing Gravity Crush grow, Gil Rush go, as well as, it's EX3?
Yeah, it's EX3
I believe.
Growl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the little engine that was in the deck. Seeing those cards go, you're definitely going to see a lot of those janky Gilmon, Phoenixmon. Even I made a Goldramon deck that could OTK. That's all gone now.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I think Garuda X causes more problems than anything. Gives anything right.
It honestly
feels pretty much.
This list hit the Megi Phoenix much more than any other deck, honestly.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I think beyond just it being healthy for the game to have the zero cost memory gains gone.
Except for one. Except for one.
Yeah, we're not going to hear the end of it.
That's to the moon.
The thing is, but Bandai have made a point to show that they don't like cores, like deck cores that I can do anything. So a good example was the purple Garuru core. That was used in almost every deck before all of their like busted pieces got banned. This is another example where you could pick up the Gil Loop core and you could slap anything on the top end, and that was a deck.
Yep.
And that core relied on the Rush Gil, the Grab Crush, and to some extent that EX3 Growl.
Absolutely, yeah, because it wasn't EX5 when everyone was just running the purple engine and slapping any purple top end and calling it a deck.
Well, and you had Levia, you had Anubis, I saw Minerva, like it's just anything purple on the top end.
Yeah, and that was the same with this. You could run any red or purple Digimon with like the 13k DP threshold, specifically for that promo Gallantmon. It just had a field day with this kind of engine. But now seeing those 4 cards gone, I think that's going to bring the end to it.
Yeah. So moving on, we do have the other zero cost option that was hit, which is Parabolic Junk, which is you get memory back if one of your Digimon is deleted. This one kind of surprised me because I know that there was a bit of an engine with Rie Kishibe and Lord Nightmon running this. I know that a few people who play, like I've seen it run in Puppets, anything that focuses on deleting your own Digimon was kind of testing with this, but this one was a surprise because I didn't think it was a problem yet. So it was a surprise that Parabolic Junk is taking the stray of being a zero cost memory, getting restricted for that. So this one was a surprise.
Abatamon.
Yeah,
that too. But
so I think my understanding of this one being there is a Abatamon, because what would happen is it gives one of your Digimon on deletion until the end of your opponent's turn. If it's deleted, gain 2 memory.
Yeah.
What the Abatamon player does is they load 1 or 2 of them up on one of their guys, and they're sitting there with the redirect.
Yeah.
So they're saying, "Attack me, give me my turn back." And that's unhealthy for the game itself.
And the 1 cost option cards they use are just stupid. Force them to attack, basically.
Yeah,
so no choice. So it's not a loop, but it's mini loop. It's like a 1-turn loop and that's it. But that's all Abata needs to just win.
That is true. But on the other hand, there is one zero cost memory gain option that they left out of this restricted list.
Is there? I don't think there is. I think you're misreading.
There's only 5 zero cost option cards, isn't there?
and considering all of my wonderful buddies were in the voice chat with me when the restricted list was revealed, by the way, I was cackling gleefully. It is Tropical Venom, which is the one of your opponent's Digimon gets on deletion, lose 2 memory. So I am about to enter, as somebody in our server mentioned, I'm about to enter my villain arc by making Bandai regret their decision to not restrict Tropical Venom as well, because you can do some things with Vortex and Medieval. So I'm either going to get Tropical Venom restricted to 1 or get Tropical Venom pair banned with Medieval, but I'm going to try my best, okay? But I am honestly,
it's going to be really funny.
I'm honestly surprised that Tropical Venom was the only one left out of the bunch of cards that have these zero cost gain memory. I mean, Parabolic Junk does have a security effect, which is something that Grab Crush and Tropical Venom don't have. So I guess I can see why Parabolic Junk is potentially better than Tropical Venom in that way, but I'm still like, Tropical Venom should have been hit too. But also, I'm not like that because I don't have to change any of my decks from this list.
Yeah, I definitely thought after the first 3 got banned, we saw they were obviously a little bit more powerful than the last zero cost option cards that are to get banned.
Hammerspark and Jack Raid both have security effects, don't they?
Yeah. Yes, I think gain 2 memory.
And
Jack Raid doesn't, I don't believe.
Oh, I thought it did. I thought it was like add to hand.
Which one?
The Jack Raid.
Oh no, I apologize. It is gain 2 memory. My apologies.
Yeah.
So, it was Blinding Ray that doesn't have security effect.
Yeah, Blinding Ray doesn't, but Blinding Ray has the ability to make Magna X really annoying, and I don't like Magna X, so...
So do the Island of Adventure cards, but at least they cost 2 memory.
Yeah, at least they cost 2 memory. Yeah.
Something for something, not something for nothing, yeah.
But moving on to the Rush Gill, and I'm going to let Gilmon Bread take the floor with Rush Gill being restricted to 1. Gilmon Bread, you have the floor.
Yeah, no, this was the problematic card. It gains Rush. In Cerberus, you just kept using it over and over. And banned me from playing it at locals.
Valid.
Like, it wasn't Growlix, because in Gallant, you can't loop as quickly, you're not trashing as much, but, like, it's... Rush Gill is just a extremely powerful card for how quick it is to get to 20 in trash.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that, and if it goes to 1, you can't abuse playing multiple, which means harder to see and harder to loop it.
Yeah, and especially because you can't just grab Crush to get the memory to play the Rush Gill out, and also build your trash with the grab Crush. It definitely feels like the right thing to do, rather than just banning Growlix, because that never felt like there was the problem. It just felt like it was further enabling the Rush Gill.
I mean, the most Growlix can do is stabilize your hand, but a lot of decks feed off things on field or can just bounce them these days or remove them. I mean, hell, Puppets can just end of turn their token die, and you kill level 3 if you try to get it to stick.
Yep.
Everyone has scrambles. I mean, it's not as bad as Max, and it only draws 1 card and trashes 1 card. It's not as crazy as Garurumon X. You gain a memory, you draw 2, you trash 2, and it has battle protection. Growlix just has gain a memory.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to delete something, which isn't always as easy with protection almost everywhere.
Yeah.
I think when it came out, Gilmon and X3, getting 20 cards in your trash was a little bit difficult, but obviously now with the pace of the game, speeding up 20 cards in trash by turn 3, turn 4,
that's
pretty
probably
doable.
Exactly
I've seen Sean do it.
What Bandai's going to say in their little explanation thing that they do. They're going to say, well, at the time, it was hard to put this many cards in trash, but with the current game state, it's very, very easy. Yeah. So I feel like that's the exact reasoning of, like, it's not that hard to have that many cards in trash that early in the game.
Then welcome to milling both players.
Yeah. And
just speed it up.
And what are your thoughts on the Growlmon that was hit? That one seemed a little bit of a surprise. I don't really recall that ever being an issue, but I'm sure that you have more of an insight, as clearly the aptly named Gilmon Bread would obviously have thoughts about any Gilmon evolutions being played and hit. So Gilmon Bread, your thoughts?
That being able to delete its own stack, like another stack, and just keep doing things like that to initiate a loop. Being able to go for early damage, survive the first one, die the second one. And I mean, in Birds, you just nuke the Phoenix X and then trash security again, play out a body, then play out another body, and it just keeps going.
Oh, yeah.
Then give it pops.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. It also mills both players if it doesn't delete a 3k. So, getting rid of that means harder to get 20 in both players' trash, can't delete your own. At a 1-of, most Megidra decks would run just 1 or 2, that's it. So as a 1-of, it doesn't really kill Megidra out at all. It just stops it trying to make a little loop.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think I do actually have, like, a few of these in my heavy metal deck. So maybe I do need to, like, look at least one deck from this list, because I'm just like, oh no, I just have the pre-errata version that says the on deletion rather than the when digivolving, now that I think about it. Yeah.
It is a crazy good card, though.
Yeah, it is. But still, I'm surprised that it got touched. But yeah,
because there's a few others running around. Yeah, because you had the Gill loop, but then there's also like the Leviamon, where you play the old Greymon, the old War Greymon to play Guilmon, attack with Leviamon, delete the Guilmon, gain out security check. So at the end, you'd have like a Leviarex swinging 5 checks.
Ah, yeah, that is fair.
And then ruin mode will kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, ruin mode being the source of all the other problems in this world.
I think ruin mode is fine. It's a fun card to use. It's not a fun card when used against.
No,
there are ways around it.
I can't run it. I play green primarily. I'm having a bad time. I'm having a very bad time.
Man, not like you can become immune for a turn though.
Yeah, just a turn.
There's that turn clock's over.
Yeah,
the DP kicks in.
The DP minus rolls in. I'm having a bad time. Anyway, the one card that I was expecting to be hit just because playing against Megibirds is an experience. Is the Garudamon X. I don't play this deck. I just play against it, and I know that I don't like it. Guilmon Bread, you can probably elaborate more about why this card is so unfun.
I mean, you take a card back from your trash if it's red, and then you gain Rush.
Yep.
It's a 3-cost to Evo by itself. Protocol makes it 2, 0 on a Garuda.
Yep.
If it was like a 4-cost to Evo, or it was a 1-cost on a Garuda, it'd probably make more sense, but yeah, it just gains Rush and doesn't really need a normal Garuda under it, just needs that to delete something.
Yeah, and as we saw from watching the Grand Asia Open was the fact that Megibirds was immensely popular from everyone that was running. Like, I think the top was Sakuya, Megibirds, and Levia, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and by Levia, it was just Serbloop. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Everything that was hit was the 3 of the topping decks. So, I
swear there was almost like a Megibirds almost every game.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there was maybe 2 or 3 without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems so incredibly consistent as well with the BT21 Greymon and EX3 Greymon, both trashing the top cards of your deck, and then this Growlithe just gets to come in and pick up one of those cards from trash, which might be a piece you're missing for the top end. So the consistency was there, the aggression was there, the undeletion as well, trashing the top card security. So, yeah. Sad for my Phoenix deck, but happily needed to go for the Drow Phoenix deck.
And Flex, what are you putting in instead of the Garudamon X?
Copium, unfortunately. I don't know if there's anything I can use to replace that. Yeah. Unfortunately,
death.
Yeah, you really needed that Garuda X. In just regular, traditional tribal Phoenixmon, you need that Garuda X. So hopefully they print something in the future that maybe replaces it. Maybe, as Guilmon was saying, is a 4-cost to Digivolve, but maybe a 3 in some sort of avian line, so they can stay traditional to the Phoenixmon deck.
Yeah, or they can make it green-red and avian. That would be really fun. For those of us who play...
yellow hybrid.
No. For those of us who play, green avian decks, that'd be fun. I would like to grab something back from trash every so often without using a scramble just to get my piece back that I'm hunting so desperately for. So yeah, maybe we get a replacement. But so you just reckon that Phoenix is just is dead for now?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, Tribal Phoenixmon didn't see as much play. It was really the Guilmon engine that really pushed it forward. But seeing that get hit with the Grove Crushers and the Guilmon and the EX3 Greymon, that engine is kind of down a lot now. So, yeah, we'll just have to see if Phoenixmon can come back without that Garuda X.
Wait till someone cooks up Levia Phoenix or something just absurd.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anyone ideas, though. That sounds awful. Please, I'm just a humble green player. Anyway, on to 2 more cards from the Sakuya deck. So, Tam, we have the Digivolution plugin S is now limited to 1, and we also have the Sakuya is also limited to 1. Tam, what are your thoughts as our resident Sakuya player?
The BT20 Sakuya definitely hurts a lot, being that it is not only when digivolving draw 2, then play an option, but also spawning out that blocker token. Look, realistically, most Sakuya decks are only running it at 2 anyway. It's usually 2 of the BT17. But having it being forced to drop it down to that 1 does hurt consistency a little bit. But realistically, at the end of the day, we do still have a Sakuya that allows us to play an option, and we can still keep the flow going. In terms of the Digivolution plugin S, there's 2 main lines of the Sakuya deck. There's one that runs the Rika Tamer, and there's one that doesn't. This is going to hurt the Rika Tamer deck a lot. They usually run it at 2 to 3. I've seen a few lists even running it at 4. Having it go down to 1 is painful. It's essentially, at that point, you've got 5 Digivolution cards being your 4 scrambles and then this, and it kind of discourages trying to play that Digivolve via option up the stack playstyle. I think it's good in the sense that it will bring out the chefs, and we'll see a lot more variety in deck lists, which I'm very excited for. Yeah. I myself am not a fantastic cook. I'm just more of a pilot.
You are modest. You are amazing, and an amazing pilot.
I don't cook. I pilot. I'm all about flying the plane. I'm not about building it.
Okay.
But I think this will shine the spotlight on the Tamerless version a bit more, which personally has always been my preferred way to play. I feel like the Tamer made the deck a bit more clunky in that you were always trying to dig for that Tamer, whereas in this situation, I'm just playing options. I'm just throwing out memory boosts and trainings until I get all my pieces, and then I go off.
Yeah. I'm honestly curious to see how the structure deck that's coming out in the next few months for Sakuya will go. Like, I'm wondering if they will introduce any spicy new tech for the deck. So I'm kind of excited to see what will happen after that, because it will of course bring a lot more people interested in Sakuya. So I'm curious to see how people will want to cook, and it'll bring all the chefs out, as you said, with that specific starter deck. I'm very interested in it because I do like the flavor behind the Sakuya deck. Is that, you know, Rika she's the Digimon queen. She is like, you know, the anime version of Guilmon Bread, for example, but with Sakuya, of course. And she uses the option cards, and I really love that flavor behind that. So I'm really excited to see what they'll do with the structure deck and how it looks for the future of the Sakuya deck.
Yeah, look, there is a lot of talk going around at the moment that the structure deck is going to try and take Sakuya in a slightly different direction. There's not been much speculation on what that direction is, but I am hopeful for what it has to bring.
Yeah. Like, I'm wondering if they're going to go Tamerless or Tamed, or if they're going to kind of do what the Terriermon structure deck did, was they had, like, you have the options to go Lopmon, or you can go heavy into, like, Terrier to make a Gargo, or you can do both. So I'm wondering if they'll give us kind of, like, the choices, since it's an advanced structure deck rather than a normal one, to sort of go off in different paths. And I'm kind of hoping that, because I'm completely new to the Sakuya deck, so I kind of want to be able to test both to see what I personally like more as a playstyle. I'm thinking Tamed, because I think it's really cute how, you know, you play an option card and you can suspend to gain a memory. I think that's kind of like some cute flavor behind it, but maybe in practice I don't like it as much. So I'm wondering to see if they'll do sort of like, let you kind of make your own path for the Sakuya deck.
That'd be really neat. And like, there's a couple of lines they can go down. They can choose to go down the Kuzuha line as your secondary, or they may try to use the new line that's coming out in Elysian, because that has had a bit of a spotlight put on it. So it's quite possible they may choose to do. I know they do like keeping Sakuya close to blue, so they may choose to make it a bit of a similar to how the Terriermon had that sort of green-purple vibe going, we may see a yellow-blue like the EX4 line with the Kuzuha.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool actually. Like it, especially because I'm feeling like Elysion could release towards the end of the year, so I'm wondering if they make it kind of like an almost tie-in product.
Very possibly, and just because I saw it, I have to. Yeah. Just because I saw it, I have to say it. Elysion will be Releasioned.
Ah, there we go.
It could also be a little bit of foreshadowing with the Volderarm. If it's like a yellow or green, like yellow and green Securiamon, maybe they wanted to just get rid of that Volderarm so Petition doesn't activate.
Oh,
that is also a good point. Yeah.
That could be really cool.
Yeah.
Like a future-proof decision.
Because, like, speaking of Terria, Valderarm does really well in your Rapid X deck if you've got Mega Gargo because it petitions. Yay! So yeah, maybe. And yeah, just getting rid of that Valderarm so you don't make a pretty bonkers deck with Sakuyamon. So do you have any other thoughts about the Digivolution plugin S and Sakuyamon being restricted to 1?
Look, I feel like with the state of results, because that is a lot of what a Bandai looks, those 2 cards definitely are in every list that places. So I can see where making that decision would slow the decks down to a point of comfortability in Bandai's eyes. I think the BT20 Sakuya is a bit overkill, personally, but there's always that little bit of bias there in that it is a very strong card in what it does and how it interacts with what the deck's game plan is.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit upset about our Sakuya OTK deck going away as well. With the
look,
level 5s.
Yeah, it is sad to see it go, but I also think
I'm
it's.
Not sad. If you're curious,
it very much is a necessary decision for the health of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow also Greymon OTK still survives another ban list.
Gru's hit first. Greymon will be next again.
Oh, please. Because, like, as someone who's been on the receiving end of Ultras mode to Ancient Grey, 7 checks, security, blow up your field, also then OmniX for game on, like, turn 2, I'm just like, please, get rid of Greymon OTK soon, please. That's my one fear. Also Omnimon, which neither of those, the two of the main decks that I struggle with did not get hit by this. And I'm like, oh no. I'm in danger. But yeah, the next card that was restricted, Royal Knights of the Purge. I kind of predict this, even though I don't think I've really seen Royal Knights as much at events as it was like at the start of the year. I don't play this deck. I've just played against this deck. Does anyone have a Royal Knights deck that they can take the floor? Flex, I'm assuming that you do because you have a million decks.
Yeah, I think the newer Mechamon. Yeah, Mechamon, was it Xandy? No, just a Mechamon that could go onto OmniX.
Yeah.
That was a problem with Royal Knights of the Purge.
Yep. Because
Royal Knights of the Purge just says, draw 1, you may place 1 Digimon card from your hand as the bottom Digivolution of Yggdrasil. So you don't even have to get that Mechamon on the field and get it deleted to place it underneath your stack. You could just put it underneath straight from hand, which sets you up for that protection. When your opponent rushes security, you get a free OmniX. So
yeah, which hurts.
Yeah, that's absolutely
yeah. Especially when it's in security, which whenever I played against Royal Knights, it tends to be in security, and I'm just like, oh, I was about to win. Now I'm not, because Royal Knights of the Purge was in security and there's no Mechamon. Oh, now there's an OmniX. Well, I guess I was hopeful for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and as well as the delay effect as well, just playing out an OmniX from under your Yggdrasil, you get 2 swings with Raid and Piercing, because you get one just because it gains Rush, and then you get one at the end of your turn, which is extremely oppressive for a 6 cost option card that inevitably goes down to 3 cost when you gain the memory.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Yeah, I think we all saw that coming.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised by this for the most part, but also I was surprised in the fact that, like, are people still playing Royal Knights?
Yeah, I think it's still pretty popular in some events.
Not so much in Oceania, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah. I haven't seen it for a while personally, but I know it is a extremely solid deck and very, very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it somebody did define it as like kind of like a gatekeeping deck, because after the regionals in Sydney back in July, I was like, hey, I didn't see any Royal Knights decks, and someone who was at a lower table was like, oh no, they were all in the middle, and they were kind of just stopping anyone else from getting any higher. And at one point there was a Royal Knights mirror match, so that's all I know about. There were at least 2, but they were kind of like in the middle ground. They were like, I think around table 60 out of 130 or so. So yeah, it's still there, and it's kind of, I guess, stopping people from getting any higher, maybe. I don't know, but not entirely surprised that it was hit. But
yeah, with the Leopardmon from BT13 getting your Omni out, the BT13 Omni out, cheaper.
Right. Yeah,
they're back in the day, and now with the Oryukin, Elfmon Oryukin mode, just play it out, and then you gain the memory. So yeah. I think it was a good hit for the deck. Yeah.
I mean,
at the Sydney regionals, I played against 2 of them in 2 separate rounds. The deck. No, one of them was a tie and one of them was a win. The deck still has legs. It's just that it can be shut down so easily with 2 floodgates. Like if you just drop what is it? It's play by effect and
reduce play cost.
The play cost reduction, and then they just can't do anything. And I think that's what's stopping it from being as oppressive as it can be. But obviously, having something targeted on the ban list means that it's problematic enough that it still needs looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I can't imagine them hitting the new Omegamon or the OmniX, because they're currently in Liberator, and Bandai probably doesn't want to necessarily hit any characters from Liberator for at least the time being, because Liberator is still going. There's going to be new support early next year with EX11, so it made sense to hit Royal Knight of the Purge instead of OmniX, for example. But a lot of people were also saying OmniX should be hit. I'm like, that kind of kills a lot of things.
Yeah,
let me have OTK. Ignore it, please. Ignore OmniX.
Yeah, please, because I run it in Atmon as a 2 of. And I like it in Atmon. They do a bunch of security checks for the same it's the same reason as Greymon OTKs. I do a bunch of checks and then OmniX for game. It feels
okay, but hear me out, Kobe.
Yep.
If it gets limited to 1, you can then take that one out and put the other one in a different deck.
Yeah, I can put it in Galaxy. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right. Like, that's the only benefit. If OmniX goes to 1, I get to put 1 in Galaxy, 1 in Atmon, and put, like, I don't know, a Medieval in Atmon or something, just to be super disgusting. Or Blitz Omni or something. I don't know. I could be really
let me get Bandai on the phone. They'll fix it.
Yeah, they'll fix it for me. Like, never mind. Omni. Also Tropical Venom. Kobe, you impressed everyone with your display with Tropical Venom. We'll put that in the restricted list just for you. I don't know. Goodness, I'm tired. Anyway, the last one on the list. Hey, I was like, let's record for 30 minutes, and oopsies. The last one is the Melga from EX1. This one is kind of in a new loop deck. I haven't seen it too much, but I don't want to, and I'm glad that I'll probably never be able to see that, so that's cool. Does anyone have any feelings about Melga?
Gas.
It had to happen.
Yep.
Gas, yeah.
Gas.
Yeah, it was just a silly loop with the, this Melga, and what was it, the new Metal Garurumon?
So it's, War Garuru.
Yep.
And Blitz Grey. You would go into this, you would play the Blitzcray, end of turn, you would DNA into Alter S, it can attack, end of attack, put it on security, play out the Blitzcray and the Wargaroo Alterus on the Wear, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
and it sees the Blitzcray get played, lets it digivolve into EX1 Melga again, and you just have so many stonks.
Yeah, because the deck ran the Garou engine, so you just have, like, you'd easily get to 8 cards in hand, sometimes 12. So you just gain 3 memory, and then gain 3 memory again, and you just keep looping it. And yeah,
and it's already super memory efficient. It's filling your hand up like crazy. You can get multiple swings. You're going through all your Alter S's. You ran, I think, like 1 or 2 of the BT22 Omni as well, just as a control piece. And it was just really oppressive. It was really like swinging back and forth on the memory gauge, like it was like a metronome.
Honestly, Bandai's gotta just not make Garu's entire identity about drawing cards, because there's been one of everything with Garou hit. There's been a rookie, there's been a champion, an ultimate, a mega now, not to mention a tamer and an option card. Like they need to pick an identity for the deck. I feel like that's not absurd, and just leave it at that. Like the secret Melga, that's a pretty good identity to keep the deck as, or Gabubon with bouncing. But no, it just made it unsuspend, draw cards, and gain sec plus for that and memory. It's just crazy. Like EX1 Melga was printed in a time where they didn't think they could draw that much cards, but infinitely playing out Digimon, then evolving for free, gaining memory, drawing cards, and then DNA again, and just being able to attack is just stupid. No loop should be allowed.
The deck needs to be played. Just to be able to play the deck, you just might be able to gain the memory back and do it 4 times.
I don't think, like, controversial opinion, I don't think any like loop or OTK deck that can like go off on like turn 2 should be allowed. I feel like that's too fast.
I mean, once they're at 9 cards, they go off. 9, 12. It's just 3s after that, and you can't do anything.
Anything that's hyper focused on drawing without like setting up first.
I just realized something.
Yep.
The loop can still run Metal Garou Ace. You trash 3 cards in your hand, you gain 1 memory for a card trashed.
Oh.
Does that not still continue the loop?
That kind of actually...
yes and no, because they kind of, like...
They need to have a big hand to run out.
They have big hand sizes, though, because they got the Garou line, and they can get 12 cards in hand, and heck, if you only can get 9... That's still 3 instances.
Oh, no, they will overflow when the thing spits out the 5 and then the other 6.
You're right. Yep, you're right.
So it stops the loop.
Yep, that goes to trash, yeah.
So it costs you 1 every time you do it.
Yep. Still not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But no, yeah.
That's why it's bad.
Down, boy. No cooks.
Don't make me have to put the deck in the ground quickly.
No. And I trust
and
that
make
you
me feel like hell.
But,
nothing off the ban list.
No, do we have any other thoughts about the restrictions and bans that we have seen today?
Imperial should be hit still.
Really?
The tamer, the Jill tamer, that's it. Or the game tamer that it was. Unless the other DNA decks get it, it just seems like they're playing favorites.
I mean, look, I know that I've said this earlier, but I'm honestly surprised that the Omnimon option, which is the miraculous whatchamacallit, I'm surprised that didn't get hit. Yeah, the miraculous mega evolution that basically says, hey Kobe, if you want to remove the Garurumon or Greymon, don't do that. So I
mean, it is a very new deck, so
yeah,
they're probably just waiting to see. Some decks started to get phased out. And yeah.
So what I'm hearing is next ban list
by Omni.
Yeah, goodbye,
By
please.
Ultra
Goodbye, Omni, please. Next ban list. I'm saying it here first. You heard it. Goodbye, Omni, please. Please, just for
Or
me.
Parastrict Miraculous with Ultra S.
Yeah, or just ban them both.
And that would just fix so Ultra S can still have its own deck, just like
Yeah.
Volderom can.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because like I didn't think that they could straight outright ban or just straight out restrict the Volderom, because that would shut down Axel, which has just been born, and they're not going to just kick it out just as it's grown up. You have to wait until it's grown up a little bit for you to ban it. So that makes sense that they didn't just like restrict that outright. They just pair banned it.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, because Axel basically is still waiting on a little bit more support. They just need another level 3, like as a Commandramon. So yeah, they still need a little bit more support for Axel to make it a completely like super competitive deck. It could be really good if it just had like a little bit of a push of support. And if they just outright restricted the Valderam, it would hurt any point of that being any deck in the future, because that's the deck it's made for.
Maybe an EX10 and BT23 Maste and some other decks can just hurt Omnimon, and maybe it won't need a restriction.
Oh, hopefully, because in that case I'm jumping ship. Goodbye, Zaphargamon. Hello, whatever that is that shuts down Omnimon. I'm hanging out with a new crowd now. Anything that stops my issues.
I mean, Mastermon and Mini together looks stupid.
Oh yeah, the new Mastermon is
Yeah, but with the Mini and Partition, it's crazy.
Yeah, Flex is having a great time.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
No,
Indirect Angel support.
removed. Trash security. The Mini can activate. You can play stuff out.
Yeah, give them both on field.
Activates. Oh no, you protect it. Mastermon then just does that, and may place a Digimon as a bottom security. Give points Digimon that does it. Nothing
In a
happens.
reverse card, yeah. Oh no, you tried to get rid of my Digimon. Anyway,
you're done. So maybe Omni just goes by from that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But again, we have to see how things get played out. People learn to deal with the meta. Levia Gil ended up being a thing. Like a lot of crazy things can happen.
Yeah. Even when Magnex came out, like that was very oppressive at the start, and then people started to learn how to deal with it, and decks got released to deal with it as well. So we're just gonna wait for the future and see what happens with the new sets.
Oh, here's
Exactly.
hoping.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting rid of level 7 abusing Secure with Volda and
they'll abuse Ruin mode.
Oh, they will, but at least it's not like turn 2, turn 3, someone getting rid of everything while you have no cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just cry because no options in your security too, which is more than half the time.
Yeah, because it was a free level 7 with the gaining the memory as well. At least with going into Ruin mode, it's going to cost a total of 4 memory. If you run...
No,
Yeah,
2.
How much is it?
Yeah,
2.
because you
I can't do math.
So you're playing...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing the scramble for no cost, and then it's reduced by 3, so it becomes 2. But the thing is, now that we're playing... we're more than likely going to be shifting to the Tameless build. We're playing a lot more boosts, which means we're going to have access to dispendable memory.
Yeah. The shake up in the meta for sure.
Oh, look, I think it's great for the meta, and especially going into Season 2 in our region. I think it's opening the ground up for maybe some decks that were having a bit too much, having some struggles against some of these higher end decks. It'll allow, like I said, it'll bring the chefs out, and they'll create some new monstrosities that we'll probably end up looking at later. It just opens it up again, and I think it's always refreshing, even when you as a player get hit, to see what will come from something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think very good ban list.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Except for the Omni X, it gets to live. But other than that, I feel like everything that I predicted, except for the Omni stuff, was banned or restricted. I think I even said Voldaram restricted with Sakuya X, like as a pair ban, so pretty happy about that. The fact that Tropical Venom didn't get hit, I'm just like, ooh, villain arc time. But other than that, like, yeah, everything makes sense from this ban list for me.
I'll miss Gridrex for sure. Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, R.I.P. But does anyone else have anything to say? Because this was definitely a half an hour video that ended up being twice that. Yay.
Next time I hope they do the list before having to watch every round for like 7-8 hours.
Yeah, like we were kept on saying, oh, are they gonna, no, they're just showing off more product. Oh, are they gonna, nah, better more product. Yeah, so, I mean, in a few of the Discord servers I'm in, I had people from America staying up and being like, oh, they'll do it first. I'm like, they probably won't. And they were like staying up, and I was like, they're probably not going to do it to the end, which like works for Australia because we're only at the moment an hour ahead of them, so it's not too bad for us. Like I can do this video and then go to bed. But my thoughts go out to anyone who had to stay up for it and then was not able to because bedtime is important. But so thank you so much to Tam, Flex, and Gilmonbread for joining me for this. I knew I wanted to talk about the ban list, but then I was like, no, I have friends now. I'm going to rope them in to talk about this because while this is probably my first ban list where I actually know more about the TCG and more about the meta, there are some decks that I am not as well versed in, and it'll be kind of just me saying, well, I don't like this deck, so it's gone. Like, I don't want the limit of the discussion to be that. It is nice to have people who have played these decks. So we have Flex, who is currently mourning the loss of the Phoenix deck. We have Gilmonbread, who is kind of having a good time because not really affected, and we have Tam, who is about to head to the kitchen to cook up something to make me cry with Sakuyamon. So, yeah.
I'm just happy watching people complain about Growlix.
Which is like, it's just wild to me because I never thought the Growlix was the problem as someone who has been on the receiving end of Gilmonbread. And having just being rush guild to the face. I'm just like, this is the main problem with the deck. Everything else is fine. Just being Grav Crush rush guild into oblivion, not so much. But I guess, I don't know. I guess if you think about it, Growlix is still like, it's a good card, but it just further enables the rush guild.
Yeah. It's going to play out some searching bodies or some drawing bodies, not exactly another body who's going to swing for game.
Yeah.
So,
and searching out bodies is good, but it's not broken. And the thing with ban list is that it's not going to ban every single good card because then it's going to be fairly boring. It's going to make things balanced. And that's the point.
Well, that's just it. Like, it's to bring it back in line with all the other decks and the power levels in the meta, as opposed to it having a spike of power over everything else because someone found an inconsistency in the future proofing. So, I think, again, I know I've said it too many times now, but these sorts of situations are always healthy for the meta.
Yep.
And breathe a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, because it's balancing, it's making things fresh. Like, people will have to think about what they're going to do for any future events if they run any of these decks. They have to, like, reevaluate what they can do with the deck. So it's spicing things up, it's making things more balanced.
I mean, if we look at the meta, it was fun if you took out, Sakuya, Royal Knights, even just the Rush Guild variants. The meta seemed fine. It seemed fun. A lot of things could thrive. Even Fish.
Oh, Fish is scary. Flex plays Fish. Very scary.
Fish. My lovely aquatic deck.
Yeah. And that.
But I think all these decks went from they all went from A+ to maybe an A- at the lowest. So they're still viable. They just needed, a little nudge in the right direction, which I think Bando have done very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like this is a pretty good, except for the Omni gets to live. Other than that, big fan of this list. But anyway, I'll let y'all go because I said half an hour and it's more than that. So thank you to Gilmon, Bread, Tam, and Flex for joining me. Thank you very much. If you are watching this, which I'm assuming you are, unless I'm just talking into just, 3 of my buddies, thank you for listening and watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, because I do plan on releasing this in podcast form, please do the like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. If you have any feelings about this ban list, please let me know in the comment section below. Please subscribe because I'm trying to, probably fruitlessly, hope for 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think I've still got just under 2,000 left, so please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your opponent at locals to please subscribe, and of course, I'll see you next one. Bye! Y'all also say bye.
See ya.
Bye!
There we go,
Fish.
bye! Fish. Lizard.
Fish.
Lizard.
Lizard.